Hello and welcome back to my channel. Did you know you can sell your art without using social media and not just small side income sales? You can build a real sustainable business that supports your life and creative freedom without having to turn yourself into a full-time content creator. And I'm going to show you how in this video. For more videos and all things related to art business, be sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to get notified every time I release a new video. Before we dive in, let me introduce myself if you're new here. I'm Martha and I worked in the contemporary art world for over a decade. I worked my way up in my career working in contemporary art galleries in London and became a gallery director. I now help artists based all over the world to create wildly successful art businesses. And if you'd like to work with me inside my group program, the Artist Accelerator, for artists that want to create more income from their art while having more freedom to create, you can click the link in the description below now to apply to work with me. And I'm also hosting a free advanced training on the 24th of April, where I'll be sharing more about the program, along with practical ways to create reliable and sustainable income streams without sacrificing your creativity, integrity, or precious time in the studio. I'd love to see you there. Click the link in the description below to apply to get your invite. So back to the main topic for this video, how you can start selling your artwork without social media. If you've ever found yourself exhausted by the pressure to show up on Instagram every single day, you are not alone. For many artists, social media feels like a second job than using it as a successful marketing tool. Endless scrolling, algorithm changes, and the constant pressure to create content can feel completely out of sync with the creative process. You didn't sign up as an artist to spend your days trying to go viral. But the good news, you can sell your art without using social media. But there's a difference between opting out of social media and opting out of marketing altogether. Because if you want to sell your work consistently, you do need a strategy, and that strategy starts with understanding where your audience comes from and how to connect with them in a way that builds trust. So let me break down what that actually looks like. Firstly, there's a traditional gallery route, which includes galleries and exhibitions. For fine artists, working with galleries and participating in exhibitions can be an important part of your career as an artist, and they absolutely still do have value. When your work is featured in a professional setting such as a gallery or included in a curated group show, it signals credibility. You're not only putting your work out there into the world, you're placing it in a context that collectors, curators, and the art world recognise and trust. So these kinds of events lead to strong connections with collectors. It can lead to opportunities for press coverage, as well as bringing in sales, especially when you're working at a high-end price point. But relying solely on galleries also means putting your sales, visibility, and career trajectory into someone else's hands. Artists can sometimes find themselves waiting for gallery opportunities to come along and often giving up 40 to 50% of the sale price, and in many cases you won't get access to the collector's information, which means you can't build that relationship with a buyer directly. And exhibitions can be powerful, but they're often one-off events. What happens between shows? What happens when your work isn't on display, or when you want to sell a new body of work on your own terms? This is why it's so important to build your own audience, in addition to working with galleries and showing in exhibitions, an audience that you can speak directly to without any gatekeepers. But what most artists don't know is that you can build an audience without social media. How? Let's jump on to my second point. Why your email list is the most powerful tool you're probably not using. Email marketing is one of the most underused tools among fine artists. Now, unlike social media, your email list isn't subject to an algorithm. So you're not hoping a post performs well or battling to be seen in a saturated feed. When someone signs up to hear from you via email, they're actively choosing to stay connected with you. That's a much stronger signal of interest than a like or a follow. And email isn't just about newsletters or updates. When used intentionally, your email list becomes the engine of your sales, and it allows you to launch collections directly to a warm audience, share the story behind your work in a more personal way. It can help you build anticipation for upcoming releases of new work, develop deeper connections with your collectors and repeat buyers, and position yourself as a professional artist with a clear, cohesive artist brand. In the Artist Accelerator, this is a core part of what we teach. We help artists build and grow their email list, then use them to plan strategic collection launches that generate real, reliable income without relying on social media. So if you've ever felt like you've been creating an amazing body of work, but you're struggling to find the right buyers, this might just be the missing piece. But you might be thinking, where do email subscribers actually come from if they aren't coming from social media? This is where there's often confusion, because you don't need social media to grow your email list. Whilst social media can help and support your overall strategy, it's not the only or even the best source of generating leads or potential buyers. Here's the truth. It doesn't really matter where people find you as long as you have a way to capture their interest and bring them into your world. Some of our Artist Accelerator clients grow their lists through in-person events like open studio events, art fairs, or gallery exhibitions. Others use blog posts, features in online publications, or collaborations with interior designers. And some use Pinterest or SEO-driven platforms, which can quietly drive traffic in the background to their website over time. And you can also use QR codes on business cards, packaging, or even signage at shows to invite people to join your list. If you've ever heard someone say, "I love your work, but I'm not just ready to buy just yet," getting them onto your email list means you can stay in touch with them and reach out when you do have something to offer and they are ready. Now, of course, social media can still play a role. If you already have a following, it's a fantastic tool to demonstrate social proof, a signal to potential buyers that other people are engaging with your work too. It can also be a way to get attention, which you can then direct back to your email list. But see it as a bonus, not the foundation. Your business should not be dependent on Instagram engagement. Now let's talk about launching your work. Here's what I see often. Artists spend months creating a new collection, pouring time, energy, and emotion into a new body of work. But when it's time to sell, they post a few images on Instagram and nothing. Crickets. Maybe a few likes, maybe even a few kind comments, but no actual sales. It's not because the work isn't good enough, it's because they didn't have a launch plan. Now, in the Artist Accelerator, we teach artists how to launch their collections in a way that builds anticipation. It tells a story behind the work and invites people to collect your work. And we do this with email at the heart of the strategy. This approach means you're not relying on last-minute posts or hoping someone just happens to be online when you share your work. You're creating a consistent rhythm of communication, building relationships over time, and then inviting your audience to buy when the time is right. I've seen artists go from sporadic sales to fully sold out collections just by shifting from posting and hoping to launching with purpose and strategy. You don't need to be everywhere, you just need a plan. This is a piece that gets missed in a lot of advice that's given out to artists. Marketing doesn't have to mean being everywhere, doing everything, or constantly showing up. You just need a system that works for you. Some of our clients do use and have a lot of success with Instagram, but they use it with boundaries and they know that it's not the core of their art business. Others focus entirely on email and in-person connections. Some sell through galleries, but use their own marketing to stay in control of their career. There's no one right way here, but you do need a way to stay connected with your audience, to invite them to see some behind the scenes and to guide them towards buying. And email is still one of the most powerful and effective ways to do that, especially when you're focused on building a long-term, high-value market for your work. So let's wrap it up with my final thoughts on this. You don't need to be glued to your phone to be a successful artist. You don't need to master reels, figure out hashtags, or dance on TikTok just to be seen. If social media feels overwhelming, you are not broken. You're just ready for a business model that actually fits your personality, your values, and your creative goals. Galleries and exhibitions can be a part of your strategy. Social media can help add visibility, but the real key to long-term consistent sales is building an audience that you own and learning how to launch your work with confidence and integrity. That's exactly what we teach inside of the Artist Accelerator. If you found this video helpful, you'll love the free advanced training I'm hosting on the 24th of April, where I'll be sharing more about how to create reliable income streams without sacrificing your creativity, integrity, or precious time in the studio. If you're interested in getting access to it, then click the link in the description below to apply now. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know by liking it, commenting down below, and subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video.